Let's look at the oil benchmark of the budget. It was pegged at $77.50 per barrel. Now, in the medium to long term, would that be of benefit to the economy?
Well, the budget benchmark of $77.5. I think it is good. It is conservative enough, and I think it should also create some room for savings, because over the last 2 years or so, oil price has been around $100 per barrel and above. So if you have the benchmark at $77.5, we still have a headroom of over $20 for savings and to absorb whatever volatilities we could have. I think it is conservative enough. It's something that I think is sustainable. What may not be sustainable in terms of the assumption is the oil output, because the oil output is at 2.4 million barrels per day. And given the challenges we are having with security in the Niger Delta and so on, I'm not too optimistic that assumption is sustainable. Another thing that I think we could say with regard to all this is the issues of implementation of the budget. That is very key. A budget is as good as its implementation. Now, there are issues of timing, which we have alluded to. Already, we are in the second quarter. So unless there is an acceleration of some of these processes of spending, processes of executing projects, we may suffer some implementation challenges. We are approaching an election year. We can feel the momentum and vibrations in the political space. So there is also the risk of serious distraction politically, at the level of executive, the legislature. That could also pose a risk for implementation. Then, of course, we have issues with the bureaucracy and the capacity for budget implementation. Sometimes there's too much delays. Sometimes there are capacity issues regarding implementation of the budget. These are issues that we also need to worry about concerning implementation.
At this point, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Muda Yusuf, for talking to us on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's now time to give us some financial and business tidbits. Enjoy it. If you run a small and medium-scale business, one important area of interest is that of finance. As important as it is also an area that remains confusing to business owners. There is usually no long-term plan in place for SMEs. Reports say 48% of small and medium-scale enterprises find their finances complicated and confusing, while 40% are burying their heads in the sand when it comes to their financial affairs. If this affects you, then these tips may be of help to you. The first thing you need to do is have a financial plan. A clear business plan will establish where you are and where you want to get to over the next few years. This should be backed up by financial targets, budgets, profit and loss, and cash flow forecasts. You should monitor the progress of your business regularly. On a daily basis, you should know exactly how much money you have in the bank, how many sales you are making, and your stock levels. Every month, you should review your position against the targets set in your business plan. The term cash is king cannot be overlooked, as even the most profitable companies can grind to a halt if there isn't enough cash to cover the day-to-day costs such as rent and wages. Know the minimum your business needs to survive and do not go below this. Keep your books up to date weekly. All paperwork should be completed, else you not only risk falling behind and ending up in a mess at tax return time, but you could risk failing to invoice a customer and losing out on money. Pay your tax regularly. Failing to meet tax deadlines for filing returns and payments can be costly, as you incur fines and interest on those fines. Go after debts. Don't let unpaid debt lay idle. Save money. Don't forget to put part of your profit aside. Control your stock. Effective management of stock can improve your cash flow. By buying in only the stock you need, it ensures that your working capital is not tied up unnecessarily. Get the right kind of funding. Seek professional help in this regard. Spread your risk. Don't rely on small number of customers too heavily. If they become insolvent or suddenly switch to doing business with a competitor, the impact on your business could be catastrophic. And finally, don't bury your head in the sand. If your business is heading towards financial crisis, don't ignore it. Seek professional advice as soon as possible. And that will be all on the program. We do appreciate your time with us. Meantime, you can send us your comments, your questions, suggestions to businessincorporated@channelstv.com. You can also reach me on Twitter. Thank you for watching. I am Bolaji Akinwale.